Hi everyone. We'll be starting in another 5 minutes. We're just waiting for some more people to join.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. So I'm Ira. I'm joining today, and obviously
Okay.
you all already know
Hi.
Anand. Hi.
Hi.
So I'm meeting everyone for the first time. So why don't you introduce yourself to me?
First, you introduce.
Okay, fine. So I'm Ira. I'm also in my third year of college with Ananya. She's my classmate. I'm also studying biology here, and I'm part of the same team. Yeah, that's about me.
Uh,
I'm Vijay Malika. I'm studying in seven. I'm studying in eighth standard, and yeah, in Bhopal.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Atharva. I'm Atharva Hirikude. I'm in seventh. Going in seventh. From Pune. Hi.
My name's Brian. I really like coding and science. I'm about to go to sixth grade.
My name is Eric and I'm in sixth grade.
Who else?
My name is Chinmay and I'm in ninth standard from Bangalore.
I'm also from Bangalore.
My name is Devrita Ray. I am from 8th C and I am from Delhi.
Is there anyone else left that I haven't met? Okay, I think then we can start.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone had nice lunch and then
Yeah.
they're ready. Nice. What did you eat?
Normal. Actually, today we have some polies. Poli.
Nice.
Yeah. So with some amras.
I like armrests.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Actually, but if you eat more, it can cause some little like pimples,
Hmm.
which
What do you think is the reason for that?
so I had lots. So my grandmother refused to giving.
Okay. So I think the last session they had talked about what mutations are.
Yeah.
So is everyone like okay and have an idea of what mutations are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you know what mutations are, and we know that they are changes to DNA. So what exactly? So would you consider mutations to be a good thing, a bad thing, or they have no effect on the organism?
Both.
All of them. All of them.
Good, but sometimes it
Bad. Sometimes bad. Sometimes good. Sometimes nothing. Like a junk you said.
Who else? Anyone else has any thoughts? Okay, but I think you all are on the right track. So yeah, we have both good and bad and harmless mutations. So we're going to go through some examples, and I want you to tell me whether you think those mutations are good, they're bad, or they are harmless. So here I have two pictures of these are essentially you saw stuff through the microscope yesterday. So can you guess what this is an image of? What?
Is it about skin? Skin?
Okay. Any other guesses of what cells these could be?
These cells were mentioned by someone yesterday and they wanted to see you.
Cheek cells?
No, yesterday we saw cheek cells, right?
What color are these? Look at the color. Does that give you any ideas?
these are of skins only.
Yeah, these are cells. These are cells found in the human body. But try and see if you can figure out what cells these are. I can give you some hints if you want.
Yeah.
You want a hint?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what was the hint we can give them?
Yes.
In color.
Yeah, the red color is a big hint. Like these cells are naturally red in color.
Red blood cells.
Yes, red blood cells.
So these are red blood cells. So on the left, I have red blood cells from one person, and here are red blood cells from another person. Can you spot any differences between these two pictures?
Yeah.
I can see a
here
difference.
purple
One
is
has
bluish color.
Sorry?
also,
The first lots of cells.
yeah, lots of cells are the composed. The other one is very spaced out.
Right, that's one difference.
I'm
What else?
guessing that the person that who has
First
the less.
and then second.
Okay, one at a time. Otherwise, we'll interrupt each other. Eric, you were saying something.
I think
The first cell, the cells are pink color.
I
And
think-
the second it's red.
Okay, that's another difference. Yeah, the color looks slightly different. What else?
And on the first
The person A is the red blood cells are more, and from the person from blue person B.
Yeah,
I'm also guessing that the person B has some kind of autoimmune disease where it attacks the red blood cells. That's why there's very little. I'm guessing that.
okay, that may be one possibility of why there are fewer cells. But it could also just be about how the sample was prepared when they're making the microscope. Because we don't just simply take the blood and we prepare the sample before we put it under the microscope, and it may sometimes look like there is more or there may be less. But it may not actually reflect how many cells are there inside the person. But there's a very particular difference that I am looking for, and so it's got to do with the shape. Can you see some differences in shape between the one on the right and the one on the left?
I can see that a person B has like more spherical blood cells, while person A who has more.
Or like little.
The one has like
B one
very
has little bit of
irregular shaped.
Okay.
person B, which is a blue color background, that is a little bit like lengthy.
Yeah, you see some that look like this, right? They
Yeah,
look
but
like a bat.
the person with normal person A has like I don't see any like that all around.
Okay.
Some of them are like a little dysfunctional and little pointy. You can see some of them, most of them are on the top. Like it's like not spherical perfectly, but it looks like it's jelly.
They don't have uniform shape, so they
Yeah,
got
they don't know.
differences in shape, right?
So between this person, and this person, who do you think has the disease, and what do you think the disease is?
I'm
That's
thinking
the
that
right one.
person B has an autoimmune disease that is causing that. The less
Or
of red blood cells. That's what I guessed in the beginning.
okay, let's see if that's true. Anyone else have any other guesses? Who has the
No.
disease and what is the disease?
What are the purple dots in both of the
Which purple dots? Are you talking
right
about these?
one, which has the mutant red blood cells?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
And the right one, which has the mutant red
Yeah,
blood
you're
cells.
right. These are mutant red blood cells. This one, this one, this one. So these small blue dots that you're talking about, if you're, are you referring to these ones? This one here.
No, what are they? What are
These are platelets. Do you know about platelets in the blood? Right?
I think they're talking about the ones, the red blood cells that look a little big and clear and have purple things all over it.
This one.
Yeah, that one. I think they're talking about that.
So that's not a red blood cell. That's actually a white blood cell. And the reason it looks a different color.
White blood cells supposed
Because
to be
it has-
You're right. White blood cells should be white. Then why does this look blue? So take a hint back. When she had showed you the picture.
It's because maybe the acid that they use, maybe this is a neutrophil which uses acid and other things to kill the viruses. Maybe it has purple color.
No, I mean these are white blood cells, right? So white blood cells should be white. But then think about the cheek cells that we saw the other day.
You remember why we saw them in different colors?
Because they were added dyes.
dye.
That.
No, not agar. We saw two stains yesterday, right?
Gram stains and non-gram stains.
Ram stain was one kind of stain. Yesterday we used methylene blue. You remember?
Yeah.
So this is another kind of stain that's been used here. If you just saw white blood cell, you wouldn't be able to see it. It would look almost transparent or invisible. And so we use a stain. And that's why this background also here looks blue. That's just the remainder of the dye that's like hanging around. And so this cell that you see here, this cell that you see here, these are white blood cells that have been stained. But I think everyone is mostly correct. You figured it out that the person on the right has some kind of disease that's causing some of their red blood cells to look like a strange shape. So do you have any idea what this disease is or what it's called?
Do you guys knew if there was such disease before where you get different shape of blood cells?
No.
Okay.
So let's see.
So this is a particular disease called sickle cell anemia. So what does this name mean? What do you think where did this disease get its name from?
Because of the uneven shape of the red blood cell that looks like it's been sliced up by a knife.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a sickle. And what does anemia mean?
Anemia. I think that means a shortage of blood.
So anemia is deficiency of blood.
No, deficiency of iron.
Yeah, it's basically a deficiency of like hemoglobin. And iron is a part of hemoglobin. So when we have less hemoglobin in the blood, we describe that condition as anemia. So what happens in sickle cell anemia?
Hemoglobin is a type of pigment that is present in blood.
It's not a pigment. It's really
Okay,
just a part of it which helps in oxygen and carbon dioxide waste management.
It is a pigment.
Also,
Okay, why are red blood cells red then? What's giving them the red color?
hemoglobin only.
Exactly. So it is a pigment.
It also does other jobs.
It does other jobs, but it's also described as a pigment. So sickle cell anemia is a particular disease when this protein hemoglobin, like he said, it's responsible for carrying around oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout your body inside the blood cell. It's mutated, right? And so it's not functional. Its shape is strange, and which is why you see these red blood cells also have the strange little like sickle shape. And what's the problem with that? What's the issue? Well, the thing is when you have
Basically, may cause blockages, and also it cannot transport oxygen properly.
yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Like that in the photos also they are showing like in the normal blood cells in the disease because of these lungs
yeah,
shapes it is like uh, you can say it is blocking the things,
yeah,
blocking
blocking,
blood cells.
yeah. And so yeah, it's not very good at like transporting oxygen, and it blocks the blood flow. And so people, they generally get very tired, and they have a lot of other issues. They have swelling. They have
Do they have like a numbness, pale in skin?
yeah, they do. And so it's a quite dangerous disease if it's not treated properly. And so yeah, that's sickle cell anemia. So this is one kind of mutation, and I think it's fairly obvious. Is this a good, bad, or harmless mutation?
It's a bad mutation.
Bad. Yeah.
It's basically a death sentence. Here's your ticket to death.
I mean, at some point, yes, but we have a lot of modern medicine, so people get blood
Is it a
transplant.
genetic disorder?
You tell me. So, what do we mean by a mutation?
A mutation is basically when information gets changed.
Yeah, the information in your genes gets changed. So now that you know this, and you know that sickle cell anemia is caused by a mutation, is it a genetic disorder?
Yes.
Yeah. So sickle cell anemia is a type of genetic disorder where a mutation has happened. So the instructions that are required to make hemoglobin, they get messed up. So the hemoglobin that's also produced is not, it's messed up. It's not very good at doing its job, which is why you see all these strange shapes of blood cells. And we know that this is a bad mutation. Okay.
This is a rare or
It's a mostly rare condition. Yeah.
I told you, right? Like humans have so many mechanisms to, prevent these mutations. So most of these diseases, genetic disorder, it's kind of rare,
Yeah.
but deadly.
Okay. So here we have another quick activity. So
7, 13,
yeah, okay,
16.
wait.
16,
Wait,
8.
I'll
13, 16, 8, 18, 9.
oh no.
12, 9.
You already know. I've seen this before many times.
You spoiled the game for everyone else. But I want to ask everyone,
yes.
can they see all the numbers?
Everyone, answer
Everyone.
one by one answer. Jibby,
Yes.
can you see all the 6 numbers?
Yes.
Devabrata,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see all the numbers, all 6 numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
Adhar,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Chinmay,
Yes.
can you see all the 6 numbers?
Yes, I can.
Eric,
Okay, I'll ask a better question. Is there anyone who can't see any of the numbers?
I can't see the second one fully.
The second one,
I cannot see the one at the number.
what are the numbers you can see?
The means the first number which is 7. That was little bit of hard. Little bit of hard means
12,
I was
9.
not able to recognize fast. But
Yeah, it
later
takes
I
some
got to know that it's 7.
Okay.
Eric, you were saying something?
Ma'am, for me, it was very easy to recognize.
That's nice.
That.
So you have good eyes then.
Eric, you were
too.
saying
But I got the number.
I think everyone got the numbers then. Okay, so do you know why I asked you to, or what these images are? What are they used for?
It's for colorblind test. If you have color blindness.
Right. You're completely correct. So this is a test that's used to, it's a simple test. It's used to see if someone may potentially have color blindness. So, what exactly is color blindness? Like, what happens in?
So basically, there are like two at the back of your eye. There are two things. There's rods and cones. Rods detect black and white, and also gray, and cones detect color. So some cases the cones do not work properly, so you can't really see color that properly.
Right.
So this is a test which have different colored dots in a pattern, basically, and if you have healthy cones,
Ma'am,
then
color
you can
blindness is
actually
the
Yeah.
ability to see color or differences in color. So that's why this is a color blind test.
Ma'am, color blindness is when we can see only black and white and not the other colors.
not only black and white. You can see blue, some orange, some yellow also.
Okay. So, is everyone familiar with rods and cones? Have they heard of these words?
I've heard of them, right?
You told me about them, but I want to know about everyone else. Devabrata, who else? Chinmay.
I don't know,
Rods
ma'am.
and cones. Okay.
We'll start from the basics.
So,
What is
Please
color
repeat the question.
Gibi had mentioned rods and cones. Have you heard
Ma'am,
of these?
can you please repeat the question?
So, Gibi had mentioned rods and cones. So, have you heard of these words before?
No. What?
Rods, like rod,
Rods?
and cone.
Ma'am, and what difference?
It's in reference to eyes and seeing in colors. Rod.
GB is
We'll
very
type it up.
intelligent.
You all will become intelligent
Yeah.
after this class.
Rods and cones. So, as he mentioned, so rods are and important for looking at the shapes of objects. So they're responsible for mostly seeing things in black and white. And so in our eyes, in the back of our eye, we have these rods and cones that are like, arranged in a pattern. And so when light falls on them, they convert this information in light to electrical signals that go to the brain. And then your brain can sort of make sense of the picture. So these rods are responsible.
That type of nerve is called the optic nerve.
Yeah. So you have these rods that are responsible for helping people see shapes and in black and white. And then you have cones.
Ma'am, I've heard that dogs are colorblind. Is that true?
Sorry?
Ma'am, I've heard that dogs are colorblind. Is that true?
False.
They are kind of colorblind. He's correct.
I mean, it is the dog is not colorblind. It's not a genetic disease. I mean, it's how the dog see. They only see blue.
They are saying that much of colors, particular color. In dogs, there are lots of many breeds, which depends on that. Every breed can see different colors or more. But the Labrador or Golden Retriever are considered to be the most seeing colors of all dog breeds.
But most dogs only see blue and yellow. That's why if you throw a red ball in green grass, it's very hard for them to find.
Yeah.
I know it because I've done it in my granny's house when I was 3 years old. And I thought the dog was stupid.
So the other cells that are in the eyes that are responsible for helping people see colors are called cones. Okay? And so in humans, we have 3 types of cones. We have cones that can respond to red color.
Red, green, and blue.
Yeah. So we have these 3 cones that can look at red color, that can detect green color, and that can detect blue color. And sort of, this combination of these 3 allows us to see, is responsible for every single color that you see around you.
What are these 3 colors called usually in art world?
Primary.
RGB. Primary.
We take all the colors using these 3 colors.
Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue.
Correct. So green is kind of secondary. Green is secondary.
And so if you actually look at your maybe not your current your new laptops, but if you find an old computer or an old TV and you went really, really close to it and you actually saw these little lines, you'll see a very thin red line, a thin green line, a thin blue line. And so the computer alters how much red, green, and blue it shows you, and that way it's able to produce a very, very large number of colors. And the same thing happens in our eyes.
You can't see in this laptop, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Don't.
Old laptops, old computers. used to
I have noticed that,
Yeah,
but
And
this
so-
I'm not able to.
yeah.
And so that means if we have only rods, then the whole world is black and white for us.
Yeah. So that's one particular kind of color blindness where none of the cones work. Not red, not blue, not green, and which is to them, you will see the world is completely black and white.
So basically, it looks like all the time cartoon for them.
Yeah.
Cartoon or films.
Very sad, right? They can't see different colors around them.
Yeah.
Everything would be only these two colors, black and white.
And also gray. And the different shades
Yeah.
of it.
Shades of white and
So,
But can we see ultraviolet color or?
No. We cannot see. Because
But there are some trick.
you tell me,
Not
do you think
ultraviolet, but
humans can see ultraviolet light?
But there are some colors which are very very light. We can't see, right?
it's because of the
But
frequency.
I see one trick illusion. In that, you have to just focus on one point, and after 10 seconds, you can see. For some seconds, you can see the color which you can't see, like that.
What was the trick
Because
again?
it's very, very light.
What was the trick again?
Like we have to just focus on one point, and after you were focusing on one point, then after 10 seconds you will see one color. It is like a pink, but it is not a pink. It is very very light.
have you tried doing it?
Because if you are focusing there, you get to see that color. But when you see here and there, it disappears.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, there are many different kinds of like optical illusions that people sort of use that kind of take advantage of many properties that these rods and cones have.
Also, I tried that trick on the corner of my laptop and I saw a black darker than black.
Okay.
And also,
So here are 3 examples of color blindness. As depending on which of the rods and cones, like which of the cones are not. It's the red one, the green one, or the blue one. So I'll pick someone. Let's see, Chinmay. Can you tell me in the one that's over here, deuteranomaly, which of the colors do you think are missing, and which rod or which cone, sorry, do you think is not working? The red one, blue one, or the green one?
I think the red one is
I asked Chinmay.
not working.
Right.
I asked Chinmay.
Yeah, I think the blue one. I don't know. I guess the blue one
Which one?
in the.
Could you imagine?
Is brown. So he will think that the red one is weird and it is not
Exactly.
good.
What's my code?
So which one do you think is not working here? The red one, the green one, or the blue one?
The red one.
Yeah. So people who have deuteranomaly, they have difficulty distinguishing colors that are red and green because there may be anomalies in the red and green cones. Okay, let's move on to this next one. This is protanopia.
Go check it on
What cones do you think are not working?
Devabrata, can you answer?
Don't worry. Just go and
Ma'am,
check it
red-
and then, okay? Then we can
Jimmy, can you mute yourself when you're speaking to your sister or brother? Yes.
You will
Please.
You said the green one.
Devabrata, you were saying something, right?
Ma'am, I was saying that red and blue in the protonopia.
Okay, that's a pretty good guess. But yeah, so again, it's like deuteranomaly. They have difficulty distinguishing red and green because those two cones are affected. You can see that these strawberries look almost green. There's practically no red. The red cones aren't working very well.
It looks very moldy. I wouldn't want to eat those.
It looks moldy to you, but it would look normal to someone with protanopia.
Yeah.
And
You
finally,
have to understand that situation.
Also,
Can you
I see some pink mangoes.
Vijaya?
Mom, there is
Yes, ma'am.
Can you say what color is
This one,
retinopia?
Which one, ma'am?
this one, tritanopia.
Blue?
What color do you think the person has difficulty seeing?
Yellow.
Yeah, that's right on. So people with tritanopia, their yellow cones are not working very well, and so they have difficulty seeing yellow color.
I've never seen a pink mango before.
But
Probably
this is
tastes
a
like
lime. This is
strawberry.
not a mango. This is
So
lime.
you have not
Lemon.
seen it.
Yeah,
It's
but
a lemon, I guess.
Yeah,
Very-
it's lemon, not mango.
I've never seen a pink lemon. Must be sweet.
But if we make some genetic modification,
Can you make
in the
pink
color,
lemons?
yeah, we can make.
Yeah, we can make.
Make.
But
People have tried making different colored corns, you know.
Yeah.
Corn.
so let me guess. There's a black cone here. There's a blue, yellow cone.
Actually, first, no, the carrots were coming like what color? Purple color,
White,
or
white.
red color.
yeah,
No,
White color.
carrots.
Then they make a genetically modification and make it orange because it was like honor of that time king's family, which whose surname was Orange, and they're all plants of orange. So that's why, in the honor of them, they turned all the carrots into orange.
I did not know this.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so color blindness, it's a mutation. It's a genetic. It's something that's it has a genetic basis. So, do you think color blindness is a good mutation, bad mutation, or a harmless one?
It's harmless.
Harmless.
It says harmless. Okay, what do people think?
Harmless.
Good, bad, harmless. Okay, now imagine you're an you're an ancient
I know.
human, and you're trying to gather around some. Yeah, maybe if you can like mute yourself when you're not speaking, it's a lot of noise. So right, so some people suggested that color blindness could be a harmless mutation. So who agrees or who disagrees?
Actually, I agree me that it is not harmful, but it is like a loss only. No, means I
No,
it
now I think it's harmful because imagine you're trying to walk on the and then you know what's harmless. I just fixed it.
harmless.
And Nai, what are your opinions?
I disagree with this when because it can be sometimes not harmless when because sorry harmful because whenever if anybody is like going who is colorblind and going towards the traffic light there and because there's yellow and there could be a yellow light coming they would not know what light it is so that would be
No, but in school they
even then
teach us.
even then red and green light which will also be changed.
Array, think like that.
So no,
From his
something
born,
like
he is born with that color, so he knows that this color is coming. Means this is like yeah, light are coming. Or
Yeah,
and all. So from born, he
So have any of you ever gotten a driver's license?
yes,
Have any of you ever gotten a driver's license?
driver's life.
Driver's license.
License.
Have you ever gone for a driving test?
No,
So, yeah.
because they're kids.
Yes. So when you actually go to a driving test, they ask you. There's a tick box that asks you if you have color blindness. So he's right. There can be sort of, although it may not be massive difference, it can cause problems for people who are driving, having difficulty in distinguishing different colors. But this is a very like recent problem. But color blindness is much older than cars. It's much older than technology or computers. Jibby,
So there is no cure.
Jibby, we know. Can you mute yourself?
Thanks.
It's not muted. Okay, thank you.
So these are all like very recent problems. Can you think of a problem that maybe ancient humans might have faced if they were colorblind?
Yeah, when there was no traffic, no cars.
No TVs, any of those problems?
They may not be able to see berries. Red berries.
they would have difficulty distinguishing, important fruits and vegetables from
Ma'am, they would have problem
I don't think there will be
in making the
some
difference between what is fruit
differentiate
and
because
what
they are
is
born
they
with
would
the
have problems in
you know,
noticing the
so
stone.
they know that what color means what, like ourselves
Okay,
only.
let
So,
me
but the difference
ask
is
you a question.
the thing they will see in the different color or shades.
Asa, let
So
me
I
ask you a
don't
question.
know.
There is a person who can't distinguish red and orange. So that is what color blindness means, right? So there are two. See, we are able to distinguish red is red and orange is orange. But that person sees both the objects as orange only. So he won't know that red thing is poisonous. Like suppose if red thing is poisonous and you shouldn't eat it. So we can say that okay, red is different than orange, so you shouldn't eat red color fruit. But that color blindness person, he would think that red fruit is orange fruit, right? So it might
So
show
means he did not know any. He can see a little bit of shade of red or not.
No,
Completely orange.
I don't think it will look very, very similar to them. They will have a hard time distinguishing things of different colors. And compared to someone who can distinguish all the colors, for example, they have more of an advantage. They are more likely to.
Ma'am, there would be a problem for the ancient humans because back then when they were like not that much developed, they didn't have any doctors. And one thing which would happen because the ancient humans didn't have a doctor to tell like if they are colorblind or anything else they are having problem. So they would like think that the blood is this color and that is that color, so that will stain their mind. So and that also happens to in this time also when the people are colorblind. So that's why it's a
Yeah.
problem for the earlier and the present still.
yes, Minal.
You had something you wanted to say?
Sorry, like Minal Apte. What is your actual name?
Yeah, sorry.
Anushka.
Anushka. Yes,
Anushka.
Anushka.
Sure, you had something you wanted to say.
Ma'am, but if a child has color blindness from his born, then his parents will teach him as strawberries are red, but actually he will see the strawberries in orange color. Then he will call orange color as red color.
Yeah.
But what if he sees an orange item?
Ma'am, then he will obviously call it as red.
So yeah, that's actually like a very interesting thing about how people who don't have color blindness.
Oh, you could just tell that I'm colorblind. That's why I don't know my colors.
Or actually, we
properly.
can teach him that orange color is. He is saying that we can teach him like red and orange is red. So from that, while talking also that he will knows that okay, this is red. So like that, we can teach him.
Yeah, so there are many different ways that they help, people with color blindness adapt to our world, where, color is an important thing to sort of either read or distinguish important signboards, things like that. And then there are also like different kinds of softwares that are used. So, for example, many times in pictures or in scientific diagrams, they, like the pictures of cells you might have seen where they colored the different compartments of the cell with different colors. That may not be obvious or may not be visible to someone who has, for example, color blindness. And so there are different softwares that are there that, that sort of convert these images into a form that's more visible and more accessible and where they can actually distinguish different parts.
So those all are like modern technology advancements, to
Yeah.
help people who are colorblind.
Yeah.
So color blindness is a genetic disorder. And I think we all kind of agree that while it's not as serious as say sickle cell anemia, it won't cause you to
Like
die
it won't cause your body any hurt. You might face difficulty when you go
into
outside.
the world. Yeah. Okay. So I think everyone's pretty good at
Is
this
everyone
thing.
clear with this?
Yes.
Everyone, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's move on now. So human hair color, I think we might have already discussed this. So why exactly do different humans have different hair color?
Because of melanin
Because
present
of
in the hair.
It's because of a pigment called melanin, which is also responsible for skin color.
yeah. So but then why is this if the pigment is the same in all the hair, then why does it look like it's different colors?
It's because the amount of pigment is what is important.
Yeah.
More,
Yes.
more pigment
If
you
you
have,
have
the darker your hair.
Yeah.
Ma'am, but there are different type of melanin for different
Yeah.
types of.
We do have different kinds of
You
melanin.
are
It's
called
correct.
melanin, and it also gives people black or brown hair.
Yeah. You have different kinds of melanin. It's not just one type. You have different kinds that give different colors. So, for example, like in a tiger stripes, there is one kind of melanin that's in the black stripes, and one kind of melanin that's in the orange places. Those are responsible for giving different colors, and for different combinations, different amounts can give you different colors in your hair.
The tiger is orange because the deers can't see red, so the tiger appears green to the
Yeah, that's another great
deer.
example of like,
So the tiger will appear as grass for the deer.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the tiger's ambush will be seen.
Yeah. Did everyone get what Eric was saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's right. So actually, like deer and other kinds of normal prey for tigers, they actually can't see orange color. It looks a lot like green and yellow to them. And so, which is why, like because normally to us, if you look at a tiger, it's very conspicuous. It's a very obvious and bright color. It doesn't look like it's doing a good job of camouflaging. But for a deer, the tiger stripes, they don't look orange. They look almost greenish yellow. It looks like the same color as the grass around it. So that's another example of how like different animals have different cones in their eyes, which allow them, which can either which determine what colors they can and can't see. So do you think human hair has a genetic basis?
What?
Does the color of human hair have a genetic basis?
Yes.
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 Because if you see, the people from western side have more like white or little whitish or brown shade.
Yeah.
So I think because of genetically they have.
Right.
I think the
So
rare
usually
type of the white hair.
sorry.
I think of hair the rare white color.
No, that's
I
not.
think when the melanin is less, then is the white color came, no? When melanin is less.
No, it's actually red hair. Only 1% of people have it, I think.
Yeah, red hair is very rare.
Yeah, but okay, leave about like skin, not hair. Talking about the skin, who have less melanin, they have like brighter skin, no?
They have skin that looks fairer. Correct.
Yeah, but
The black is
it is a little bit of harmful when you for like ultraviolet rays.
Yes,
sun.
yes.
Yeah.
Melanin actually protects your body parts from getting exposed to that. More
Yeah.
melanin you have, the better protection. That's why albinistic
Yeah.
people have to wear like sunglasses so that the eyes don't get damaged.
Yeah, true.
We
Also-
get tan, right?
Yeah, it's because of there's also
The melanin.
bodily protection mechanism. It's also a warning saying
You are raising hands. You want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, ma'am, somewhere I read that the scientists have found that there are many colors beyond normal human vision. If
Yes.
there are colors that humans can't even see, then how did they find that there are colors like that?
using technology.
Okay, I didn't hear your question. Can you repeat once?
I'm saying like if scientists have proved that there are many colors beyond human vision, if there are colors like beyond human vision, how did the scientists find out that there are? Because scientists are also
Using
human.
technology.
That's a very nice question. So I'll quickly answer that, right? Because she does have a. She, I'm
It's
so
a me. I'm a he.
Yeah,
Vijaya. No, I was talking to Vijaya. So they had a very nice point, like that. So there's this particular kind of underwater organ. GB, can you mute yourself? You're not
GB and
speaking.
Atharva, both of you,
Yes.
if you're not speaking, mute yourself. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's this particular kind of underwater organism. It's called mantis shrimp. The kind of shrimp organism.
Yeah, I know. Mantis shrimp with the colorful eyes. It has like a. It's
It
like
can be 16 types of colors.
colors.
Yeah, yeah.
See-
So it can see a lot of colors, a lot more than humans can. But how
It looks
exactly?
like
Yeah.
it looks like the shrimp has just gone to a bar and drinking lots of alcohol. It's like that. It's what the shrimp sees. Very colorful white circles.
Ultraviolet radiation.
So, how exactly do we like measure color? Let's say in a laboratory, if obviously I can look at an object, I can look at a leaf and I can say this leaf is green. But is there a way for a computer to determine what the color of an object is? And so you guys are familiar with like how light is a wave.
Yeah, like just a wave.
Everyone familiar with
Not this GB.
light is a wave concept? Everyone. Devabrita,
Have they heard of it?
Anushka, Chinmay, Eric, Vijaya.
Yeah. So like light is a wave, right? So it has every single color has and is everyone familiar with the concept of the wavelength,
Yeah, wavelength.
right? Is everyone
Everyone?
know what wavelength is?
Okay,
Roughly.
we'll tell you what.
The wavelength gets lesser and lesser.
Okay, if the
The
wavelength is
wavelength-
less, what color do you think you will see?
The more less, the no color.
Not necessarily.
If it the lesser and lesser, I think brighter. If less, brighter.
You have 7 colors, right?
Dark. Yeah, 7 colors. Red, orange, yellow,
Seven
green,
different kinds of
blue, violet, and indigo.
Are there really
Yes,
7
ma'am, there's 7 color and
Red.
7 colors or infinite colors? What do you think?
Not really infinite.
Why do you say
ma'am,
not?
yes, ma'am, there are 7 colors.
Okay.
There are 7 colors we can
But
see.
can't you make different colors
Yeah, haven't you
based
seen
on
more
these
colors? It's not. I mean,
combination?
you said the 7 colors are violet, indigo, blue.
Secondary colors.
Also, I see purple. I see a lot of colors that are not in there.
It's because it's a combination of it.
But then those are also combinations of something, right?
We saw 3 primary colors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have like essentially every single color has a particular like when how exactly do you see something? When light falls on the object, it will bounce off it and enter your eye.
Not really. The objects absorb the light and reflects the color. If it's 2 colors, then the object will mix those colors together to form another color.
Yeah. So every time whenever there is light coming from an object, every single color has a particular wavelength. And so you have machines that can actually measure this wavelength and they can kind of tell you what color it is. So we have what we call detectors. We call them spectrophotometers. It's a very cool piece of equipment and they can actually tell you what color is there.
Yes, ma'am, red has the longest wavelength and violet has the shortest wavelength.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with this concept?
Maybe new to some people. It took me a long time to figure out, that
So, like,
Very easy.
color without us. Vijay, your doubt was this, right? What if we can't see few colors? So,
how will
even
we
the-
detect them?
so even the colors that we don't see have a particular wavelength. And those wavelengths can be detected
Infrared and UV.
more than that. Gamma rays,
UV rays,
UV rays, infrared rays.
You have machines that can detect these rays. So even though I can't see UV rays, there are machines that can detect them and produce them. And so that's how we know that there are a lot more colors than a human like us can see.
Okay,
Does that
ma'am.
answer your
So,
question? Yeah.
yes, ma'am. So, are there any animals or things that can see better or more colors than humans?
Yeah, so I was giving that example of the mantis shrimp. So we have 3 cones. We have red, we have blue, we have green. And mantis shrimp, if I remember correctly, I think someone had said 16, but I think that's close to the correct number. They have 16 cones. So they can see a lot more colors. They
Who?
can also see UV rays, they can see infrared rays, they can see a lot more colors than my eyes can, or her eyes or your eyes can. We have different organisms that have better or worse color vision. Like your dog, for example, or a deer or a cow has worse color vision. They can't distinguish some colors, particularly red color. They're bad at distinguishing red and green. So different organisms have the different abilities to see color.
Same with the buffalo.
Yeah, same with the buffalo. You might have seen those things, right, where they take the red color cloth and then
Yeah,
they
so
wave it.
that is how they can't distinguish. Then how can they distinguish by red color?
So they're not really moving towards the red color. What they see is like a piece of cloth that's moving. And that's actually what they're trying to attack. It's not necessarily the color.
Only red color. You can take green, blue, whatever.
Yeah, you could take any color cloth and move it, but I guess for the show, because it's technically a showy sport, they take red because it looks more impressive, and that's the tradition that Spanish people have been following.
Actually, red is most color for at least human eyes. Like it has this longest wavelength, right? So that's why
Yeah, it's the longest one.
for stop they use red color because
It's also why we use it for danger.
Sorry.
It's also why we use it as a sign for help and danger.
changes.
Yeah, they're always in red.
Yeah.
So coming back to human hair, so we determined that human hair, it's because there is different amounts of melanin, there are different kinds of melanin in the hair, and this all has a genetic basis. But do you think there are any mutations involved in here?
Yes.
Or like, okay, so how do you think there's a mutation involved in here? Okay, so I'll give you a hint. So you know that early humans, they originated in like Africa. That's where most of, or at least the species Homo sapiens, they originated in Africa and then they migrated to different parts of the world, and where they acquired different characteristics. And that's where you get the different races. But so
I
originally
think
the African,
because of heat, they can.
right? So when humans like originally evolved, they had like dark colored hair and they had dark colored skin. And then as these these like ancient humans, yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question. Are we Homo sapiens or Homo sapien sapien?
We are Homo sapiens sapiens. Yeah. Technically us. You, all of us.
I think we can call it Homo sapiens also. Sapiens
Yeah.
is just another
Because some
yeah,
people's
subspecies
DNA is a little bit of close Neanderthals.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry.
Some people DNA is little bit close to Neanderthals.
Yeah, there
Also then-
is.
I didn't get what you were saying.
Means our means we are Homo sapiens, sapien or sapiens, but
Correct.
some people are like close to the Neanderthals.
Everyone has a little bit of DNA. I'm about 2%.
We have
Not
tested
little bit,
DNA.
we have all. You know how much? Okay. Do you know how much DNA you have in common with the chimpanzee?
But where we can check
99%. No, 75% actually. 75%.
Okay. JB guesses 75%. How much DNA do you think you have in common with a chimpanzee? What percentage of your, DNA or your genetic information is similar to that of chimpanzee?
No.
No, 82%. 82%.
Okay.
82.
Any other guesses?
studied today in the morning, right? That how we vary and how we evolved from apes and we have similarities. So can you guys guess? We evolved from right?
Yeah, we walk from a common ancestor with apes. So yeah, so someone guessed 82%. Any other guesses? How much DNA do you think you have, or how much of your genetic information is common with like an ape or a chimpanzee, for example, our closest relative? One last guess, and then I'll like reveal the answer.
98%.
98% is pretty good. It's close to around 99 to like 99.5%. Your genetic information is same as that of a chimpanzee. So there's actually very, very little that separates us from a chimpanzee.
Ma'am, 90.
Very, very little, but the effect is huge. As we can see only where
Yeah,
are
the effect is
chimpanzees,
huge.
monkey, and where we are.
Yeah. So yeah, coming back to like human hair, the original ancient humans, like older than Neanderthals, when they were just starting to evolve in Africa, they started migrating up to Europe. And so what happened is somewhere along the way, there was a mutation in the melanin gene, and which is why you'll see that a lot of Europeans, they are fair skinned because they don't have as much melanin, or it's not functioning as well. Which is why you'll also see there's not many Indians who naturally have blonde hair. Like only people who have blonde hair naturally are like Caucasian people or people who are white. And so how exactly white hair evolved, it was actually a mutation of just black hair. It was a mutation of the melanin gene that makes hair black. It stopped working, and so the hair started looking white in certain populations. So the differences in human hair, although they are not, it did originally, not right now, thousands and hundreds and thousands of years ago, it originated from a mutation. So do you think the mutation responsible for human hair is harmful,
Yeah.
harmless, bad? What is it? What do you guys think?
Is neutral.
Okay. Ruby guesses neutral. Anyone has any other guesses?
Adhar,
Anushka, Devabrata, Chinmay. Any guesses? Harmful, harmless, good, bad?
Mutation.
Yeah, the mutation that caused these different hair colors to be, different populations of different hair colors. Do you think it was a good mutation, a bad mutation? A mutation
Actually,
that was
you are saying like hair, I think these are not means not bad or not good. But if you are saying of skin, then it is bad. Fair skin.
right. So, but no, I'm not talking about hair.
just hair
I
color, right?
don't think that it is bad.
Okay.
Like I don't think that it is not harmful.
Okay. He guesses not harmful, so harmless. I
Yeah.
think most people also feel like hair color is usually harmless, right? And that's mostly right. There's not much, differences in functionality between, let's say like blonde hair or black hair. And so it's a fairly harmless mutation that had occurred thousands and thousands of years ago.
Unless you're going into a fashion show, then it's a bad mutation if you have the wrong hair color.
Oh, man, that's where like technology comes in. Like dye your hair.
We all have wigs, right?
I have dyed hair. You have wigs. My hair is actually different color here. I have dyed hair.
This ma'am dyed her entire hair red color. You can see her hair, red color hair.
I used to have red hair at some point. Not naturally, but I had dyed it.
But how?
So, very
I have jet black color hair.
nice.
I have naturally black hair, and I'm planning to turn it
Is good, bad, or harmless? The one that caused
harmless.
Harmless means
yeah, someone guessed harmless. Anything guesses?
because suppose you have brown, you have blue, then what is means nothing to change in personality or something like that.
Okay.
In personality it is changed.
So he said that, so he says that there's no problems with having different colors. So for the most part, eye color is fairly harmless trait. But the eye is a very, very sensitive organ, right? So they tell you not to look directly at the sun. They tell you to wear sunglasses when you step outside because there's a lot of light that can enter inside your eye too much, and it can start to like damage the eye inside. And so what exactly, why would we have melanin inside the eye? Melanin is not responsible for like seeing color. So then why would we evolve to have melanin inside the eyes? What do you think?
It's because of the white. It's because of the lack of melanin elsewhere.
You said okay. That's the reason. You're telling me like the reason. You're telling me why. You're telling me how that the eye is brown. You're telling me it's melanin. But why would we bother having melanin? Why would the body bother putting melanin inside the eye? What do you think it's should be?
Maybe just want to look pretty.
Okay, that's one guess. It's to look attractive.
No.
But eyes even without melanin,
Even blue, all eyes are pretty.
Yeah.
I would say. So think about it this way: what purpose does melanin serve on your skin? What purpose does melanin serve there?
It
To protect like
protects
sun
from the
rays,
sun.
It protects you from like the sun's
or
rays, and it
UV
does
rays,
this.
you can say.
Yeah, particularly UV rays, but because UV rays are the most dangerous kind of rays for humans. But that's the same function it does inside the eye. It absorbs any extra light that is entered to keep the eye safe. And so, technically
Then,
speaking,
but if in the skin,
yeah,
the melanin, if there is less, then it can be harmful. So
yeah.
why there means in the hair or eye, it is not harmful.
So in the hair, it's not very harmful because even if because the hair is dead, right? Hair cells are dead cells. There's no harm to them
Oh,
when they're exposed to UV light. But your skin cells, they're living cells, and when they're exposed to UV light, what is the problem with UV light?
No,
Everyone
I
says
don't. No, I don't think skin cells are living. They're
not the
dead.
uppermost layer, but below it, they definitely are very much alive.
Actually,
Low.
yeah.
But on top,
and there is
Huh?
like
You see?
I think he's trying to say that there is a cover. Our skin has a cover which is filled of dead cells. So I think
Right.
he is trying to say that.
yeah, it's basically a hologram. Who knows such a living? Who knows such a complex living thing has so many dead things?
So why do you think UV light is harmful?
Yeah, people say UV light is bad, but what is so bad about UV light?
So basically, the problem with any radiation is that it could interact with the muscles and all the skin tissue and all that stuff, and maybe mess up some stuff. It may overheat it.
Overheat it. It says overheating. What else do you think could be the problem with UV light? What exactly
It
inside?
also could damage the DNA, causing skin cancer.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Anyone else has any other guesses? What do you think could be the issue with UV rays or any other?
Also, it kills cells. That's why you get the sunburn. It's basically
Why
dead
is it killing the
cells.
cells?
Why is
What's
UV
making the cells
harmful?
die?
Adhar, you're muted.
Actually, when it direct comes into contact, it can kill the cells of our skin, and it can cause cancer also.
Yeah, I did.
Devabrata?
What do you think? Why is UV harmful?
And I think so. There are 3 types of UV rays.
Yeah, there are 3 types: UVA,
Devabrata?
UVB, UVC.
UVA is the least energy one.
Devabrata.
Yeah, UVC you don't really. UVC is the least energy one. It doesn't do much damage.
For the others also.
1 second. No, let Devabrata say her opinion.
Okay.
Yes, Devabrata.
Ma'am, I think due to the UV rays, it can mostly can cause damage to the cornea, which is in front of the eye, and it will become inflamed, and we will like feel like it is burning or something, and it can also cause us wrinkles and also more other diseases which are for the skin or the eyes.
Don't forget about the backside of your eyes, the retina. Also can cause a damage, leading to permanent blindness.
Right. So I think many people were like pretty close to it. So what exactly UV does is that it causes damage to DNA. And when it damages DNA so much, and the cell realizes, oh, there's so much damage to my DNA, there's a chance, I may turn into a cancer cell, or there may be some other issue.
So there are special things inside the chromosomes that are like safety guards. If they see that some DNA is broken, they call for the telomeres to repair it. But if it's too much damage, they order the cell to do apoptosis, which is basically self-destruction button.
Yeah, so then sometimes if cells feel like there is too much DNA damage, they will, they will kill themselves.
And also,
harm themselves.
This is why it's why cancers are so hard and very a painful burden to the body, because basically cells that try to do apoptosis but cannot do, so they become cancerous. They are unlimited lives, basically.
Yeah. So coming back to eyes. So eyes have melanin, and melanin is important in the eye to protect the eye to keep it safe from UV rays, from other like too much extra light entering. So do you think people with blue eyes who don't have as much melanin, is the mutation that caused that a good mutation, a bad mutation, or a harmless mutation?
It's a harmless, but don't look straight into the sun, even if you have dark eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So Jippy says it's a harmless. Anyone else?
Unless
Now that
that
you know
person
what.
is just, unless that person is thinks that looking into the sun is a good idea, then it's a harmful mutation. It depends on the skill level of the brain.
Anyone else? Now that you know what the function of melanin is in the eye, and you know that blue eyes don't have much melanin, so do you think that blue eyes may represent you know uh, a good thing or a bad thing?
Others?
Others? Anyone else has anything they feel like their opinion?
Actually, I think that in
Xavier side?
it is good because it is. I agree that it is not harmful, but it is good to show off that only in the world 2% or 1% people have green eyes and all. So if I have green, I will say that, oh look, I'm the rare people on the earth.
Okay, so
One way of saying
so
it.
by and large, it's fairly harmless. But for people who do have light colored eyes, they have to take extra precautions when they go outside, just to prevent damage to their eyes. So they have to wear sunglasses far more often, and they're more likely
So
to
which
suffer
is the okay? So which is the good one? Good eye color,
dark eyes. So brown.
With melanin.
Yeah, the ones
like
that have
brown,
lots of
which I
melanin.
have.
Yes.
Yes. So all different color eyes yesterday, today morning, right?
So but came to everyone about why.
My mother's father has the fourth color of eye.
A little bit of bluish.
Yes, my mother's father has it.
Yeah, there are lots of. This is just a small picture. There's lots of other different colors of eyes and combinations.
Don't forget about the multicolored eyes,
Yes,
heterochromia,
yes, yes.
and also red eyes with the albinism. Blue eyes have a little bit of pigment, but not much. Red eyes have no pigment. Oh,
Okay, guys. So can we take a small break
yes, I need
Yeah.
it.
and we come back at 4:15?
4:15.
Okay.
We have an activity later on, so come back by 4.
Okay.
Come back by 4. We'll finish it quickly.
Ma'am, 4 or 4:15?
4, 4.
Okay.
4.
Bye. Yeah.
See you later. That's like a
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.